you're in an atmosphere, you're in Chicago, you could throw a rock and hit a gym, right? You have this unique perspective and a unique idea around what your gym is going to be, what that brand is. Like, how did you kind of how did you come up with your anchoring pitch, right? Like, how did you come up with, did you have large clients in the bag? Like, how did you guys get an investor to really get comfortable with this idea of, I'm going to invest in a gym in Chicago, and these guys are going to make it successful?
So, we tried to diversify our efforts as much as we possibly could, right? So we wanted to say, well, here's the conventional route, here's the angel investor route, right? And we wanted to not over leverage ourselves with one certain investor or place. So we tried to raise smaller amounts of money from more sources than someone otherwise might, in order to mitigate their risk on a startup company who is not going to be able to or willing to give the kind of returns that straight venture capital would typically look at. They look at 5 to 10 to 30x, right? We're looking at like, hey, we can pay you, 5 to 10% on your initial investment. We need this number of years before we can start paying you back by our projections. Our promise to you is we have skin in the game, and we won't allow ourselves to take one single dividend if investors aren't also being made whole. So we had to do that through some personal relationships, which a lot of people think is an easier route. I find it a more difficult route because, if you start a business and you're just operating with money from a bank, right? And things go south and you got to reboot or start over, or you can't get the money on the right schedule what it's supposed to be. Well, I'm not personally and emotionally attached to JP Morgan Chase, but I am to a client who's a financial investor who became an angel investor for us. That almost has more skin in the game, and for me, and I think for Michelle also, made paying those debts, the weight of them, more heavy than if it was going through one source or only venture capitalists who might be willing to take a risk on like a micro startup.
I think, the both of us have been very fortunate throughout the time that we've been trainers to meet some really great individuals and people who trust us as individuals, as trainers, as friends, as almost family members. And I think that says a lot about the two of us and about the people that we attract, because a lot of the funding came from clients. Some of it came from family. Some of it came from banks that were associated or affiliated with clients. So that was it was huge. And I think it's important that relationships are built from the beginning. And the two of us do that well, instead of seeing someone outright and wondering if they do anything for us, and if not, pushing them away, right? We build relationships as much as possible, whether it be to help someone else or to help ourselves down the road.
Thanks for watching. If you found this video to be helpful, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and share with a friend. If you are an entrepreneur and want to share your story and be helpful to others, just shoot us an email at behelpfulpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time.